In this lesson, we're going to have a look at the binomial distribution, but we're going to put it into a real world context. So we looked at the conditions for a binomial distribution to be true. So it was a game that we play a fixed number of times where there's two outcomes, win or lose. But there's further assumptions that need to be made in order for this model to be valid. And that's what we're going to look at now. Two assumptions in particular. So the first assumption is that trials are independent of each other. So what that means is the outcome of one trial isn't affected by an outcome of a previous trial. And the second assumption is that there's a fixed probability of success in each trial. Now, lots of people think that these two assumptions are the same because the outcome of one trial being independent of the others does mean that the probability stays the same trial on trial, but the fixed probability of success more refers to any outside factors affecting the probability of success. So this is one trial affecting another, and this is saying there's no outside factors affecting the probability of winning. So you could be asked to regurgitate these two assumptions in an exam, usually obtaining a mark for each of them. But here's the thing, here's the catch. You can't just regurgitate these exact sentences. You must adapt these sentences, these two assumptions, to the context of the question you're given. And I'll give you an example of that now. So here's a question here, which says a dice is thrown 15 times and the number of times the dice lands on a 6 is noted. Define in words a binomial variable x that would model this situation and give the values of the parameters. So we've encountered this previously in the previous lesson. Define in words a binomial variable of x. So it's saying we're counting the number of times the dice lands on a 6. So in this case, x must be the number of 6s obtained. That's the thing we're measuring, the number of 6s obtained, and give the values of the parameters. Well, the best way to do that, x squiggle b, and the first parameter is 15 because it's thrown 15 times, and the second parameter is 1/6 because that's the probability of winning each time, and a win is whatever we're counting. So in this case, a win would be a 6. So that's there, the binomial variable defined in words here, and then the parameters given. Part B, state the two necessary assumptions for your model in part A to be valid. Well, the first assumption is trials are independent of each other, but we know we need to put this into the context of the question. So the question involves rolling a dice. So the first assumption, so rolls of the dice are independent of each other. So where that wouldn't be the case would be, for example, if the dice was made out of a really soft material and it got a dint in it each time we rolled it. If the shape of the dice changed every time we rolled it, then one outcome would affect the next. However, in a solid dice, that won't happen, so that we can assume that the rolls of the dice are independent of each other. And the second one, a fixed probability of success. So we need to put that in the context of the question again. So a fixed probability of rolling a 6. So they're the two assumptions we make to make sure that the binomial distribution is applicable. So then, find the probability that no more than 3 6s are obtained. Now the purpose of this part C of the question is just to get you used to some worded inequalities. So no more than means less than or equal to. So no more than 3 is 0, 1, 2, 3. So the probability that x is less than or equal to 3 is what no more than means. So Let's go into binomial CD mode and work that out. So the probability that x is less than or equal to 3, number of trials was 15, and the probability of success was 1/6, 1 divided by 6. There we go. So the answer is 0.7685 to 4 significant figures. 0.7685. Part 2, the probability that at least 8 sixes are obtained. So at least means greater than or equal to. So the probability that x is greater than or equal to 8 is what we're being asked to find out. So from the previous lesson, we learned that it's best to write the numbers we do want. So we do want 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to 15. The calculator only works out less than or equal to, so we're going to take out what we don't want instead. So we don't want 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So that's the same as 1 minus the probability x is less than or equal to 7. So let's put that in the calculator. So the probability that x is less than or equal to 7 is that. So 1 minus 0.99874. Equals, and I'm going to go into ordinary calculation mode and do 1 minus the answer, which gets me 1.257 times 10 to the negative 3 is the answer. And finally, at most 5 sixes are obtained. So if 5 is the most sixes that can be obtained, most means less than or equal to, so we want the probability x is less than or equal to 5, which the calculator will give us directly. So back into distribution mode, binomial CD, and x is less than or equal to 5. 15 goes, we have it, and it's a sixth is the probability of success. So 0.9726 is the answer. 0.9726. And that basically is the binomial distribution and some problems in context. The most important part here is to know what the terminology means, things like no more, at least, at most, etc., and be able to regurgitate the assumptions that we looked at, but the assumptions must be regurgitated in the context of the question. So have a go at the questions, check every answer as you go, and most importantly, enjoy doing it.